Bikeriders is actually several things. It's a love triangle between a married couple and the open road. It's a character study of the elements that make up the heart of a motorcycle club, and it's a homage to the motorcycle movies of old. It's a subject which director Jeff Nichols treats as bigger than any one character or story arc in the movie, which makes it for interesting pieces rather than for a coherent whole. Framed as an interview by a photographer chronicling a motorcycle club, a young woman named Kathy, played by Killing Eve's Jodie Comer, is our narrator and lends into the Vandals Club, which is where she meets the carefree Benny, who's played by Austin Butler. She's intimidated by many of the riders, but with Benny, it's love at first sight, and they marry within 5 weeks. Tom Hardy plays the club's president, Johnny. He's a guy who probably got the idea for it by watching Marlon Brando in The Wild One. He has his own set of rules that he imposes on the club, and he's generally fine with any idea as long as it seems to come from him. He also rules with impunity if you ever piss him off. There are also several colorful characters involved with the club, none of which are developed very well, but that leaves Michael Shannon's Zipco to be just a complete scene stealer. Here's a guy aidled by drugs who hilariously thinks anyone who uses their brain for a living is a pinko. We later learn there's reason for that, and it's an endearing testament to how the club works as a whole. Claire Nichols is most interested in what these guys represent: the freedom of the ride, while many others look on wishing they could be part of the crew. As one person, many of the riders don't mean a heck of a lot to society. In fact, some of them have even been shunned by their own families. But the club offers structure, purpose, and brotherhood. When these guys say they want to die on a bike, there's a kind of loyalty and integrity to that statement. The film tries a little bit to point to the correlation between bikers and obscenity. How when we see a pack of bikers, we think guys who are up to no good. To do it justice, Nichols stays away from turning them into evil caricatures, but also doesn't shy away from what some of these guys consider freedom, and how sometimes gruesomely they will choose violence if it warrants it. One of the things I really did admire about this movie was Austin Butler's portrayal. He's not some Joe Cool on a motorcycle. In fact, he doesn't really say much at all, but we see how vulnerable he is without the club, that he is in general just a boy who can't grow up. Homer adds another layer to it as she resiliently tries to get him to not just be with her, but also choose her over the brotherhood and the open road. This is also one of those movies where you keep trying to place the accent of not just her, which seems like a mix of Chicagoan and Canadian, but also Hardy, who is very commanding in this role in sort of a nasally Brando-esque drawl. The film turns away from the freedom and brotherhood angle into a more rise and fall story, accompanied by idealistic fractions and hot-headed young people in the last third. I mean, I felt like things started to fall apart a little bit. Some things felt rushed through, characters felt underdeveloped, and it felt less urgent and more like I was watching a series of episodic pieces. And that's too bad, because with a little bit stronger direction in where it was going, the Bikeriders could have added some needed tension to go along with the nostalgic reverence. Still, this is a good movie with strong performances that promotes the ideals and feelings of the road life and how some men just can't be tamed. No, not me. But okay, I'm going B, guys. But that is my opinion. I'd love to see yours. Let me know down below there. Also, if you could, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I do hope to see you back next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.